European Union culture policies aim to address and promote the cultural dimension of European integration through relevant legislation and government funding. These policies support the development of cultural activity, education and research conducted by private companies, NGOs and individual initiatives based in the EU working in the fields of cinema and audiovisual, publishing, music and crafts. The European Commission runs Culture programme, and the EU funds other cultural bodies such as the European Cultural Month, the Media Programme, the European Union Youth Orchestra and a European Capital of Culture programme. The EU awards grants to cultural projects and has launched a web portal dedicated to Europe and culture, responding to the European Council's expressed desire to see the Commission and the Member States promote the networking of cultural information, to enable all citizens to access European cultural content by advanced technological means. History and development. The Council of Europe, which is distinct from the European Union, first formalized cultural cooperation policy in Europe with its European Cultural Convention. However, specific EU policy on cultural cooperation began between member states since its inclusion in the 1992 Maastricht Treaty. Structure and strategies adopted. A cultural contact point is set up in each EU member state, and is responsible for aiding communication between the European Commission's cultural programme and member state. Policy analysis, methodology and statistics. Institutions and bodies. The most important EU institutions through which decisions are made regarding cultural policies are the European Commission, acting in the areas of culture, sport and languages; the Committee on Culture and Education of the European Parliament; the Education, Youth and Culture sector of the Council of the European Union; and the Education, Audiovisual and Culture Executive Agency of the European Commission. List of institutions and bodies. The EU promotes cultural development through numerous institutions such as Cinema of Europe, Committee on Culture and Education, Directorate General for Education and Culture, Education, Audiovisual and Culture Executive Agency, Euronet, Europa Nostra, European Audiovisual Observatory, European Commission, European Commissioner for Education, Culture, Multilingualism and Youth, European Film Promotion, European Institute of Cultural Roots, European League of Institutes of the Arts, European Network of Information Centres, European Union National Institutes for Culture, European Union Youth Orchestra, Union of the Theatres of Europe. List of programs. The EU promotes cultural development through numerous programs such as Culture 2000, or Erasmus Mundus, or Erasmus Programme, Europa Coin Programme, European Capital of Culture, European Cultural Month, European Cultural Route, European Heritage Days, European Library, Europeana, Yourscreen, Media Programme, Module Dance, Protected Areas of the European Union, Videoactive. List of awards. The EU promotes cultural development through the policy of awards. Aristine Prize, Civis Media Prize, Europe Book Prize, European Border Breakers Award, European Inventor of the Year, European ISD Head Prize, European Union Prize for Contemporary Architecture, European Union Prize for Literature, Lux Prize, Young European of the Year. List of non-EU cultural institutions, bodies and programs. The following is a list of European institutions, bodies and programs which may be thought to be related to the EU policy, but are not. Council of Europe, Compendium of Cultural Policies and Trends in Europe, Eurocities, EUROFRAME, Europalia, European Broadcasting Union, European Cultural Foundation, European Dance House Network, European Film Academy, European Museum Forum, University Network of the European Capitals of Culture. Policies by sector, arts and culture. The European Commission runs the EU's Culture programme, which typically runs in 7-year intervals. The last Culture programme was called Culture 2000. For the next Culture programme was spent €400 million. Current programme is called Creative Europe. Sport is largely the domain of the member states, with the EU mostly playing an indirect role. Recently the EU launched an anti-doping convention. The role of the EU might increase in the future if the Treaty of Lisbon were to be ratified by all member states. Other policies of the EU have affected sports, such as the freedom of employment, which was at the core of the Bosman ruling, which prohibited national football leagues from imposing quotas on foreign players with EU nationality. Languages. The languages of the European Union are languages used by people within the member states of the European Union. They include the 23 official languages of the European Union plus many others. EU policy is to encourage all its citizens to be multilingual. Specifically, it encourages them to be able to speak 2 languages in addition to the mother tongue. The reason for this is not only to promote easier communication between Europeans, but also to encourage greater tolerance and respect for diversity. A number of EU funding programs actively promote language learning and linguistic diversity. The content of educational systems remains the responsibility of individual member states. Further information can be found at Language Policy. Impact of cultural policies.